Hi Piccolos, this is a practice guide to Mahler Symphony number 9, the first movement. So starting right, it gets tricky down here at 187, and we have a couple high C's here. I did an alternate G on this G here only because mine is very flat, for whatever that's worth. You can do the alternate on G to raise it a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna play it once, and I'm gonna scoot a little further back because the high C, I've listened to some of my older videos, and anytime I play a high C, it just compresses the sound because I'm just recording right into my iPhone. Okay, anyway, 187. So what I think about to make sure I get that high C, I feel like my embouchure sort of melts down. That's what I'm thinking anyway, like the corners just kind of melt. I use the word melt, but that's like what I'm thinking. So that the embouchure hole, of course, is smaller to get to the high C, but that it elongates a little bit. My top lip is very forward and just presses it down. So there's a lot of resistance to the air, but I'm not like blowing a whole lot of air. It's just extremely fast. And like I said, your embouchure has to be in place and low to the ground, so to speak. It needs to be low to the hole so that the air goes straight in there. But you do not want to be rolling in or anything like that. That won't work. So anyway, if I just try to tongue, I'm going to back up again. I'm going to tongue the G right above the staff there, and then go to the C. And like I said, I'll go slow, and I will be doing all those things that I just said. If that's not working for you, like that high C is not coming out, I think the main thing is probably your air is not fast enough. Sometimes when I'm practicing it, I'll get like just below the C, and then I have to, it comes out like, I'm sure I can do it. It comes out just below it, and then I just create more resistance. So that resistance idea is super crucial for this high C to come out, and it's really important for the high register in general on the piccolo. What might help is to think of that high C, or thinking about resistance, is if you were to blow cold air on your hand, the high C, it's like you're blowing cold air on your hand that comes very close to your face. So like high A, high F, high G and A, or something like that. You want to blow cold air here, but I feel like for the high C, I feel like it's like a compression a little bit. You just want to make sure you don't clamp down or get too tight. It's just you're recreating resistance. And with the hand coming closer to the air, you can feel the air getting colder on your hand as the hand comes close. So that might be helpful in getting the concept of the resistance needed of the airspeed, because the resistance creates the airspeed. I probably should have just said that. That's basically what is happening. Another thing you could do is you could practice, hitting notes just below the C. Like you could do D, G, F, make sure that's okay. D, in fact, I'll just do this, going up chromatically until I get to the C. I did the C one twice. The first one, it wasn't quite there immediately. That's where when you're playing with the whole orchestra and it doesn't come out right away, the orchestra covers that and you can get out that high C, a microsecond later. But anyway, what I did to correct my high C for the second time was just an even faster airspeed on the C. Yeah, duh. And not going forward, but yeah, duh, straight down, guided by the very middle part of my embouchure, my top lip. Just goes straight down with the air. So what I'm not doing is, just like nailing it to the wall, because the chances are it won't come out. I mean, it came out for me just then, but chances are it won't come out you're going to be a big spitty mess, or you'll get the note out for a split second and then it goes away. And once it goes away, you'll never get it back. And then you'll never be able to play the B natural right after it either. So it's very tricky on piccolo, of course. It has to be just right, very fast air, very tiny aperture. If you're getting the like that when you try to get that C, then it's just too tight, you're too closed up, and no air can get out at all. So you just need to open it up, or try to like relax the corners more, which brings the embouchure down closer to the hole for this high C only. I mean, in general, you don't want to do that too much. What I did a few times when I was practicing this, my high C was not coming out, is I just did to the A, G, A, and that always comes out. And then I switch to high C and just changing my air speed just a tiny bit faster, or just a minute adjustment with pressing down the air straight down or something like that. So I would practice like this. The next phrase we have also goes to the C, but it's slurred, and that makes it a lot easier. Yeah, slurring it is a lot easier. I don't know, because the air just goes faster on the way to the C through the slur. So you could practice going back and forth, slurring, and then trying to create that retongue. So you have on the way from G to the C, your air is going faster and getting more compressed. And then you want to try to, when you tongue, go from there right to here. I'm going to slur it and then try to recreate tonguing it. And then tonguing. So yeah, the high C's, just really try to avoid trying to force it out. The more you try to force it, the more it's not going to happen. You know, I know what that's like, trying to just make it come out, but it just takes a lot of time practicing up there in the high register. So anyway, the rest of that page is easy, and then our second page of this is also pretty easy. Oh yeah, down here at 380, we come in very delicately, dovetailing the principal flute. This is a great moment. It's very difficult for intonation. Principal flute plays from this cue here, ya-dum, bum, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da, C. And she's playing the high C, and then piccolo comes in on the C. So it should be exactly in unison. Very difficult to do intonation-wise to match. So you might need to spend some time with your principal flute and practice together. I know when I did it first rehearsal, I just did regular fingering C, because usually my C is pretty in tune. I just need to lip it up a little bit, but it did not match at all. I was flat, but more than flat, it just didn't blend. So I had to switch to the alternate C, and that blended very well. So you just have to see what it's like with your principal. But the C alternate fingering, by the way, is left hand, no thumb, first finger, middle finger, ring finger, and then in the right hand, first finger, ring finger, and pinky, I think. Yeah, and pinky. So that's the alternate. And it has a very delicate sound. It's on the sharp side, so you can just come in very quiet and sit down in the pitch. It's just very, very delicate sounding through there. And then the very last note, it looks so innocent there, but it's not. Actually, that was one of the, once this note was over in the concert, I was so relieved. It's not hard, but the instrumentation, the orchestration is down to nothing. It's just harp going bom, bom, rest, bom, bom, nothing, and then bom, by the piccolo. I think maybe the violins are doing a harmonic or something, but it feels very, very naked. So the harp is going rest and bom, bom, rest, bom, bom, rest. And ideally fading out into the universe. And you're with the harp, so the harp, boom, right on your D with you. No vibrato, and it should just fade out as best you can. Yeah, so there's no alternate fingerings or anything for the D, but it should be a very stable note. It should be very soft, but it's better to play it on the louder side if you risk it going away. So you don't want the note to go away until the conductor cuts you off. You can err on the safe side and play it just very comfortable. In fact, the Vienna Philharmonic the famous recording with Bernstein, the piccolo is just like ba. It just seems very loud. And it's very loud and very safe. Could be the recording too. But anyway, so hey, if Vienna Philharmonic can play it louder than pianissimo, then so can we. And that's it for the first movement. Just those two spots, some extreme high and then very delicate middle register stuff. If you have any questions, comments, or anything I have maybe skipped over, some measures I had skipped over, feel free to put that down in the comments or send me a message. I would be happy to get back to you. But I plan on doing video practice guides on each of these movements. I just only have time today for this first one, so I will get to those other movements if you're wanting a practice guide on those other ones. They are coming. All right, thanks for watching this video. Please hit subscribe if you haven't already. I do have a growing collection of these practice guides on a playlist. You might be interested to go back and check out all those other videos. Also lots of videos just on piccolo playing in general because I do play a lot of piccolo. Thanks for watching and happy practicing.